Morning everyone, welcome to Chunky Captain. I'm here in Istanbul. I'm just outside the Aviation Museum. Just behind me here, we're going to have a look in some aircraft. Right behind me there, we've had a look inside a Sea Servant, a Dornier in there, and over here we've got a C-47 or a DC-3, which we'll have a look at in a second. It's the 11th of October and I'll see you inside. We have the names of very famous airmen or generals who fought and died for the Republic of Turkey at the Istanbul Aviation Museum. Here we have the Dornier 280. Look at that. Sky Servant. Twin engine, high wing, tail wheel. Let's go inside, shall we? Have a look at the gear behind. All the trails, oxygen tanks maybe. Our way to the front. There's the museum here. Here we've got the throttles. So throttles looks like a mixture, and we've got propeller. And here we have obviously the dual yoke controllers. Some basic instruments for the engine and for navigation. And at the top, just above the pilot's seat, we've got all of the fuses. Navigation radio. Castle, king of the castle. Look at that. Everything moves. I don't think it actually moves. No. So it's not attached to anything, but pretty good, isn't it? There's the throttles. We've got a mixed throttle, so we've got 50% stopper. We've got 100%. Same for the other side. Same with the feather. So yeah, this is the propeller. So we've got full open, full feather for both sides, and we've got the mixture. Very cool. Engine. Here we have a C-47. So that one we saw was a Sky. This one is a Skytrain. So this is the military version. They're doing some construction work. So that's a shame. It's right behind me. And this here is a very, very beautiful aircraft indeed. Here we see the flaps are extended all the way down to the bottom. Let's head inside. Here we have, looks like a navigator seat where you put all your maps, and a very comfortable stool. I don't think that is original, but probably another seat I've just down over here. Got, looks like some storage or for avionics up top. Behind the door we have another seat. This time it looks like it's for maybe radio operator, because we've got all switch gear on the top, load of other instruments around here, and some more shelves where there probably used to be more instruments. More radio instruments. This one looks like it's for navigation. We've got for bearings and for your bearing again. Storage maybe. And here we have the cockpit. So again, this is a twin engine, so we've got our propellers, our throttles in the middle this time, and we've got our mixers on the right with some, looks like guards. to stop you from moving unnecessarily. You don't want to cut off your engine. Got some very comfortable metal seats. And yeah, because obviously this is a bit older than the original aircraft, the other one we saw. That's why, you know, you've got a separate navigators, aviation, obviously the basic instruments that they can use for navigating and flying the aircraft. This is our oxygen supply system just on the top of the roof. Here we actually have a latch to get to the top. And we've got some levers just on the bottom as well. So obviously, here we are in the cockpit of the C-47 with my dear father. Here we are in the cockpit with our yoke, which isn't connected to anything, obviously because it's old. Don't think we can move our elevators. But here you can see there's not a lot of room. This was probably here for insulation to kind of cover all the metal walls and the fuel lines and the vacuum lines. Yeah. And we've got our propellers. So we said this is our propellers left and right, which are locked. Throttles, which move up and down for each individual engine, and the individual mixtures, which are... Probably they were a bit smaller than me back in the day. Look at this tiny little door. Seating configuration. Half seated, and we've got the rails on the floor for probably cargo at some point. Right, let's head back out and see some other aircraft. Everyone must recognize this beauty. This here is a Turkish F-16. This is the Fighting Falcon. What a beautiful aircraft. Let's have a quick look inside. So it's a single-seater, as you can see. Very tight cockpit. You've got to be quite small to get in there. You can see some of the general instruments. It's got a side stick control just over here. And throttles on the left-hand side, just over there. And an ejection seat. What a beautiful aircraft. You see just up to the top. This is the Starfighter, the F-104. Beautiful aircraft here. Very short wings. There's a few fuel tanks on the side. Very interesting configuration. A lot of US fighters here. There's one behind me, the F-86. And here behind me are some of the incredible aircraft you've seen. And I'll tell you a little story about the Turkish Air Force. So the Turkish Air Force was officially established in 1911, which actually makes it one of the oldest air forces in the world. And from its very early days, biplanes and brave pilots that flew, they were one of NATO's most capable air powers, and today that still stands. But today it operates very advanced fighter jets, even making their own, like the F-16s, and Turkey is developing its own fifth generation, the Khan, a huge step towards full independence of the aerospace technology. And what's really amazing is how the museum captures the entire journey, from the early flight to its cutting-edge innovation. If you ever visit Turkey, this is a must-see for aviation and history fans. It's not just military planes here, we've got civilian aircraft. So here we have the Cessna U-17, the Skywagon, mainly used for training and transportation. Over here, the Citabria 150S. So this is a great plane the Turkish Air Force used for training their pilots, even moving up to jets. And some other kind of STOL aircraft over here. Have an aviation museum without a little bit of cargo aircraft, as well as civilian transport. So we've got a DC-3 just over there, which we're going to go and see in a minute. We've got some big radars and radio scanners. And what's famous? Oh, it looks like we've got a grey crow. Looks like he's nesting. Or, yeah, he is nesting in the tail of this aircraft by the looks of it. We've got another one just up there. But So yeah, civilian aircraft are a massive part of aviation too. Talking about civilian airlines, this one over here is the 10R French aircraft built in the 80s, and this used to carry, I think the Istanbul used to have 9 or 4 of these in service, and here's one with its original painting on it, or livery as they call it in the aviation world. It's a shame we can't go in this one. And look at this beauty just up ahead. It's a twin-engine cargo aircraft, C-160, and all-weather capable, actually made by German and the French. So it carried mostly crew, cargo with up to 3 crew on board, or 93 passengers, or 62 patients if it's used for medical humanitarian missions. And I'd call this the baby C-130. Less engines, slightly smaller, but still as capable. Here we have an AT-11, or the Kansan. So it's made in 1942 as a trainer or liaison aircraft, and actually 127 of these entered the Turkish Air Force. Beautiful aircraft. See, we've got some radial engines on the front over here. So I think it had 3 crew or 4 crew, 2 pilots, and then this big glass section at the front was for navigation and most probably training, but a lot of windows on that thing. Here we have a really incredible aircraft, the F4 Phantom II, and this actually entered the Turkish Air Force in 1978, and it flew with the Turkish Air Force. I think the last one being decommissioned in 2015, so it's an iconic aircraft, and you'll know if you've seen a lot of old movies, but really incredible aircraft. I think what we'll do is fix my tie and we'll head inside. The last thing we get to see is a Huey helicopter. So the Huey, or the UH-1, has been around a long time. If you've seen a lot of Vietnam movies, you might have seen them quite a lot. So this is a twin pilot aircraft, and it's capable of holding quite a few people, 9 passengers, 6 stretchers. And it's been in the Turkish Air Force. There were 27 that joined the Turkish Air Force back in the day. Aren't they beautiful aircraft? Extremely versatile, very fast, very easy to maintain, low cost to run. It's a shame that so many aren't being used today. We've got another Phantom II with an incredible paint scheme on the front, also showing its missiles. So here we are, the Aviation Museum. Like I said earlier, since 1911. Let's go inside. I'll have to get this one translated, but it's all the way from 1767 over here to 1909 over here. And looking at the photos from early balloon exploration to gliders, hot air, or what they called, can't remember the name now, big balloons. We've got the Orville Wright in 1903, the first flight. Happened in America. Looks like they're also showcasing current things. Here we have Bayraktar drone, which is an amazing piece of aircraft. More unmanned drones, the Ankar. Some of their self-built helicopters. T-1029, which is meant to be a kind of Turkish recreation of the Apache helicopter. Took me a while. Looks like a training jet. And of course their TFX, the one they're building now. Beautiful 5th generation fighters. One seems to be in commemoration of Solo Turk. So Solo Turk is a F-16 pilot, or shall we say organisation, that does a lot of air shows, and we've seen him at the Royal International Air Show in UK. The inside hangars aren't so big, but we've got a few old aircraft here. Like this chipmunk behind me. What an interesting design. Looks like a gull wings. Very interesting design. I think I will end the video here, guys. Just standing below this starry Turkish sign and in the foyer of this lovely museum. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope it's been informative, educational, and you've seen some of my passion for aviation. But we'll leave it there, and I'll see you at the next museum. Chunky Captain out.